Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Me.
Merp. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to be starting off with what we're doing. And speaking of what we're doing, we are both currently playing leagues on our
Yeah.
phones.
Don't mind us looking down frequently while the
Yeah,
other one is
if you're
talking.
on YouTube, you will notice us looking down, and it's because I'm running laps and she's cutting teaks.
I want
So
to run laps, but I can't. Nah. I know I'll get too distracted.
yeah, so in case anyone doesn't know, 50 laps at any course, that's a 40-point task.
Oh, I
So
really should be doing this. I'll do an edit.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, though, like I said, we'll be talking about what we've been up to, which is kind of obvious, and then we'll go into the actual updates this week, which there are quite a number of them.
Yeah. Unfortunate amount considering that we are going to try to make this a quick episode because we're addicted.
Yeah, we're gonna aim on the shorter side of things. So there's probably not gonna be too much stuff that we like skip over, but we will be
We'll
kind
try to
of
keep the extra babble. The
exactly.
babble a word.
Sure, yeah, extra
On the
babble.
down low.
Yeah, so we will try to be briefer than normal.
We're not good at being brief.
That being said, there's still, I mean, I think
we're already doing it. By
I think
the way.
it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
We're already just going off.
Yeah, there is a decent amount of stuff to go over, including Scurrius, our son.
Yes.
He has a son of his own, apparently.
Our grandson.
Yes, and we'll be
Little
talking.
Scurry.
We'll be talking about a little update to Scurrius, the Rat King from last week. Also, we have some pretty exciting stuff to go over. I actually haven't read most of this stuff because I have been playing leagues.
I read it while playing leagues.
So there was a game jam. This is the last one that came out.
It was like last month.
It was just before leagues came out is
Uh-huh.
when they like wrapped it up. So we'll be going over some of the notes and blog stuff that they have for that, which is always pretty exciting because that usually leads to some content that we can look forward to eventually.
Still waiting on the capybaras.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of content that we will never be able to. Well, we'll look forward to it. Just it'll never actually happen.
Which I'm scared is the capybaras.
Yeah, probably. And then we'll jump into some Varlamorean activities.
Yeah. Some feedback on the changes from last week that we spoke of.
Oh, I don't even recall.
Oh, okay. Was it last week or a couple weeks? It was like the agility course and all the different stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if that was last week, but that was kind of cool. So
yeah,
that's nice to see. And then we will kind of quickly gloss over the last two things because we have been keeping up over the weeks with the releases for leagues, the teaser stuff. Obviously, it's out now, so kind of, late on that one.
But we'll just tell you guys about the new ones. I mean, also, we could do more than the teasers. We could just tell you about all the relics now.
Yeah, well, we'll kind of combine that with, well, I guess no, because we'll talk about what we did first anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I mean, if you're playing leagues, then you already know. If not, then, I mean, this may help you, but if you don't care at all, then that's also probably just something to skip.
Yeah, just skip the Scurrius. I'll have timestamps.
And then we will have questions, of course, at the end. Feel free to send in your questions wherever you prefer, whether that be discord.gg/Bunebape or any of our socials.
Yeah.
But also, I realized that the discord.gg/Bunebape was not actually like connected and working for like a few weeks.
Oh.
So now it is because I sent it.
Were we not boosted for a second?
Yeah, it's because we had a lapse in boosting for I think like a week or two, so it dropped that the custom link for us.
Sorry if you've been trying to use the link.
Yeah, and it wasn't until someone I told them to like go to that link and they said it didn't work and I was like, oh
really?
Yeah, I just had to reset it up.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad it's working now.
Yeah, so now it's working. But
if it doesn't work, you can ask questions on comments on YouTube or on Twitch or anything.
Yeah, of course, as always. But before we get into any of that really cool stuff, we'll get into actually some probably equally as cool stuff because it's
it's us and we're more invested.
Well, it's because it's our league updates.
Yeah. Before going into my league updates, I did have some main account updates. So I got 97 prayer. Nice. I am like a third of the way to 98 and I am officially out of Dragon Bones and my cash stack is dwindling. So I might just put a hold on that for a second.
Dwindle.
Unfortunate. I only have 20 mil left and bonds are 10 mil and we do the weekly bond giveaway. So I really need to make some gold.
Yeah, good luck. Or you could just, no, never mind.
Buy bonds and make it gold.
No. I was going to make a joke about how everyone buys GP, but I won't do that.
I actually don't think I can because of, well, I don't know how it works. Anyway, I'm not going to do that because I really like my account. That would suck to lose it.
Yeah.
I also sent some Inferno attempts this week because reminder, we're sponsored by Factor for
Yeah.
the next
We are lackeys of Factor.
yeah, for the next week and a half, I think. I'm still sponsored by them. And if you do order and you're in the US, let me know and I will send an Inferno attempt in your honor. I sent one for Kitty Toes and Lux, and Kitty's was first, and I got a new PB. My previous one was 48, and I got to 54, which is
Nice.
massive.
That's pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah, I basically beat it.
Yeah,
And then
they should just give you a complimentary cape.
they should. The night after, I sent one for Lux, and I beat my PB again and got to 56.
Dang, people should just keep challenging you over and over again.
No, I actually have to send one for meeting a sub goal, but I've been so into leagues that I'm waiting till I find something I could AFK on leagues
If
for a
like
while.
if like 10 more people like tell you to do Inferno or make you do it by doing Factor, then I think at that point you'd beat Zuck.
Maybe.
You just need one extra wave every time someone forces you to do it.
I know it's actually 2 now.
Yeah.
But it's like getting more intense. Some of the waves are easier later. It's weird. It's very like a wave, really. It's just like on and off, like how difficult it is, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I passed my old PB, it got a lot easier for a few waves. Now it's just an issue that I'm running out of food and supplies because I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
But I've been practicing my one ticking and stuff, and people are hella backseating me, but I'm allowing it because they're teaching me how to one tick. And it's been fun, and I have a really hard time imagining that 3 Jads and Zuck end up in the same room as me.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
Triple Jad.
Yeah, haven't really thought about that because it's scary. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. And on leagues, I'm having even more fun. So my relics that I've chosen thus far are Production Prodigy.
And you can pay extra attention to this if you care for mine because they're the exact same.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are, huh? We'll choose different stuff later, but we have the similar goals, so our first ones are basically the same.
Yeah.
So Production Prodigy, that's the one where like crafting, I could do a full inventory cutting gems, which by the way is like the best money maker for us right now.
Yeah,
I think dating told you about that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like a thing that
I didn't know it was a thing.
Out.
But you could go, if anyone else has this, you could go to Al Creed and there's a gem seller guy, a gem stall.
Gem stall.
Yeah, and you could just buy them. You have to buy one at a time, so I would suggest menu entry swapping, so you could just left click to buy. And then you could just go and cut those gems and resell it, and you make a profit, and you get super extreme amounts of XP, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, pretty good.
I've made a lot of money. I'm like 85 crafting is my highest skill. But so did that. And then my next one was Fairy's Flight. That's the teleporting one. I am liking this, but the only thing that I don't like about it, it's so you could go to every spirit tree that you have unlocked, a fairy ring or to a leprechaun in the game in your regions. But the only thing I don't like is that it doesn't really have a great one to get you to Draenor, which is unfortunate. But other than that, I am a fan of that.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about the like getting Globetrotter because that's what a lot of people that I know got. And I don't think it's bad. Honestly, that's the one tier where I don't think either one is necessarily good or bad. It depends on kind of like what you prefer and what you do.
I feel that like, I mean, I don't really think most tiers have anything that's bad because a lot of people I know are choosing Trickster and having like a lot of fun with it. In my mind, just what you wouldn't mind training. So like right now, Robert's doing like agility, but if he was doing Trickster, you know, he wouldn't really have to be doing agility as much.
Well, it's still a task.
Okay, it's still a task though. We do both want to get a lot of points.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
exactly. So again, it kind of just boils down to like what you are planning on doing.
Yeah, but I don't regret any of my choices. I could see how the other ones would be fun, but I don't wish that I did them or anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, I chose Banker's Note, which is the one that you could bank and unbank anything, note and unnote anything in your inventory just by clicking on it and clicking on your note. Love that. Super busted.
Very good.
I could bring so much food with me everywhere. The other one seems nice early on because you can get everything.
It's called
for
Fire Sale.
Fire
It
Sale.
makes all GP related traders free.
Yeah, it seems really nice early on, but I think a lot of people are saying that that one's nice early on, and then Banker's Note will be better later game because you'll have basically unlimited supplies whenever you go and do bossing.
I mean, you can bring technically like 9,000 noted Sarahs and 9,000 noted super restores.
Yeah. So I like it. It's not It's like pretty handy now, but not the craziest. But I know later on I will appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And other than that, I've chosen Brawler's Resolve, which is the melee one. I haven't really done much melee since getting it though, weirdly, because my melees are all like basically base 50, and I'm trying to get all my stats around base 60. So then I'd feel like I could maybe do some scuffed raids. So since then, I've actually just been working on getting my ranged and mage closer to my melee.
Yeah.
I waited till after I got that though. But yeah, I'm in tier, so that's 4.
Yeah,
4?
tier 4.
Yeah, I'm still a bit a ways from tier 5. I'm 1,200 points.
And what areas did you unlock? Which is also
Oh,
the exact
yeah.
same as me.
Yes, yeah, we had the same area. So I unlocked Desert second. And I was actually going to do Asgarnia.
You mean first, right?
Sorry. Oh, I meant after Misthalin. Yeah. I did Desert first. And then I was going to do Asgarnia second. And then I'm so glad that Robert pointed this out to me that I should have done Mortania second to have Barrow's gear for what's it called? God War Dungeon.
Yeah, for raids and for God Wars.
Yeah. So I instead unlocked Mortania second so I could go and do Barrows. And now like in hindsight, I'm like, I have no idea. I was just gonna show up with my rune armor and try to kill Garage Door.
Yeah.
Which I mean I probably could have, maybe.
You could have. We already kind of talked about this, but if you do that, if you don't go to Mauritania second, which is totally doable, you can go anywhere second because you could technically buy obsidian gear.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't think a lot of people are going to go melee, but I mean, you might have a tougher time because you'd have to get your fire cape in order to get obsidian, but you could get obsidian and then like theoretically just do God Wars Dungeon in obsidian with whatever range gear you have.
Yeah, I think that having the Barrows gear will be nice, especially if I could get like the one that heals. Like that'd be nice in between kills to use even less supplies.
Yeah. Also, what's cool about
That'll be
that
hidden
is,
harder too.
with brawlers, Guthans is actually, in my opinion, one of the best items because it is a 5-tick two-handed weapon.
Guthan's the one where you heal faster, yes?
That's the one that just allows you to heal.
Yeah.
None of the other ones heal.
That'll be nice. That'll be really nice killing the minions in between KC. I'm still intimidated for God War Dungeon in general, but I know I will be able to get it as soon as I get more and more tanky and get some better gear going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically where I'm at. I'm just working on task and kind of like working on a longer task, which is sucks for now because I'm not getting the most points, but I know I'll appreciate it later. After we're all done recording, though, I want to go like a little bit harder on it because I really want to. In tier 5, you get more XP. So
it goes from 8 times XP to 12.
Yeah, so I want to get base 60s combat, but I don't want to train past 60 until I have that boosted XP.
Yeah.
Because 60 is really not that bad, but past that, it starts to slow down a little bit. So I think that'd be a good idea. But I'm loving it. A lot of people pointed out I shouldn't have been doing on my alt because I'm doing on my hardcore because my trophy is not going to be on my main. And that almost made me want to cry on stream, but I'm committed. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, she already bought a month of members.
I already spent $12, and I'm not getting that $12 back.
Dude, true. Sell the account.
Oh, and then one real life update: my car payment's all done.
Huge.
5 years later, my car payment's done.
Yeah.
Right in time for my food stamps to apparently get canceled, so it's basically no profit. So that's fine.
There you go.
But yeah, it's all back and forth.
There you go.
How are you?
Pretty good. Cannot complain. I am currently, like I said, running Canifis rooftops. You need to get 50 for just running any Canifis rooftop will give you
Any rooftop.
Well, specifically Canifis will give you 40 points and then another 40 for doing 50 laps.
Cool.
And so I might as well just do them here anyways.
Yeah.
So currently I am a little bit ahead of Michelle. I have been playing while at work, which is the only reason that is possible.
We have a little bit of opposite schedules as well, which is funny because by the time that you wake up, I'm usually catching up to you. But he started like 9 hours before me, so he's always like ahead during the day. I don't know, it's weird. We're on opposite schedules right now.
Yeah, technically I'm in tier 4, but
he's almost tier 5.
Actually,
no.
Oh,
he just unlocked tier 5 right now.
I just unlocked. I don't even know how.
Oh my gosh.
I just unlocked tier 5. I was just doing laps.
Well, this is perfect because
also, it's complete 50 laps of rooftop agility. All right, so
it's just total.
The thing, total, yeah. I didn't realize that. I thought it was 50 of one specific.
That might be a separate one.
Maybe.
But
Either way. Now I am tier 5.
Yeah.
Currently live update tier 5.
So whenever you go finish this lab, you could tell us about the different relics.
I'm actually just going to currently live on the scene. We're gonna upgrade the
on
relic
the scene, like
to
like it's frickin' CSI.
Yeah, so we're
Whoops.
gonna level up and we're gonna pick Treasure Seeker as our tier
Are you
5
sure?
relic.
Did you even read the others?
There we go.
Oh my
Treasure Seeker
god.
done.
Tell them what Treasure Seeker is.
Treasure Seeker, what it does,
You read it and decide you chose
just
the wrong one.
like I said, all the other ones we have are the exact same. So this is the
And I
only new
think
one.
I might choose this as well.
This
Not
is
because of him.
so creatures that drop clue scrolls have a 1 in 15 chance of dropping them, so a lot higher chance of dropping them. Also, clue geodes, nests, and bottles drop 10 times more often. All clue scrolls have the lowest number of possible steps for their tier, which
Love
is
that.
great.
Masters are going to be like 4 steps then.
Yeah. Also, every clue scroll casket, just the casket, will roll the maximum amount of rewards that it can. So a
Dude.
master clue will always roll 7 times. And on top of that, there's a chance when opening a clue casket that you will receive another casket of the same tier. This is more common for lower tiers, and on top of that, it has a chance for this additional casket to be a upgraded tier.
I wonder if anyone's done it so they got a beginner and through that got an easy casket and then just went all the way up to master.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you say that because I did mention this. Outside of this bug, it happened naturally as well. But there was a bug during the first few, I don't know, the first day, because people were obviously tier 5 the first day.
Yeah. Can't relate.
Yeah, big grinders. Um, and there was a bug where if you took this as your tier 5, you could get any clue, any tier of clue, and it would continually roll the casket until it's master and then continually give you additional masters.
Why didn't I get
So
tier 5 day 1?
the thing is, I think those accounts that abused that got rolled back because Bodhi did that and found out that like he did it like 5 times and then he's like, all right, I'm not gonna
At
do
what
this.
point do you realize that it's not just lucky and it's messed up?
He did it like 5 times and he's like, I'm not doing this anymore.
He's like, this is starting to feel a little sus.
Yeah, I mean,
probably the first 3 he was like, I can't believe this is happening.
and if you think about it, it's really easy to track. It's like, oh, this person has 5 clue scrolls done and I don't know, 65 master
Collection luck
uniques.
slots, yeah.
Like, all right. So, if I had to guess, those accounts got rolled back. I seriously.
I think they might say in the notes they're not rolling back everyone I know.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But there were a few bugs, that being one of them. But yeah, so I chose Treasure Seeker because, well, I was hoarding up actually like around 6 or 7 of the clues, maybe closer to 10 that I've been stacking up through like collecting, actually mostly through like fishing and mining and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've gotten most of mine through stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Bird's Nest. But
I've only gotten, by the way, I've only gotten beginner ones. So I just did them all before this.
I think I have mostly beginners as well. And I think I have a medium and maybe a hard.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. But I told Michelle that I had a friend that got a master and their clue step is to equip a full set from Barrows.
Yikes.
So,
at least you get the extra drop rates.
Yeah, at least. That's actually the whole reason I completed it, is because I just now immediately went from 8 times XP to 12 times. So a 50% increase is pretty nice.
Oh my god.
That'll make my laps go by a little bit quicker.
I'm gonna do so many tasks tonight.
Yeah. That was one thing that when you were talking about it, I think is a really easy pitfall for a lot of people to go into, is doing or focusing on the bigger tasks. When honestly, the smaller tasks, not only will that unlock the next area, because the next area unlock is based on number of tasks, not points. So it'll allow you to unlock a next area faster. And on top of that, the points really add up.
I know. I really need to do it. I have so much small ones that I could do, but just like there's so much small ones that get overwhelmed. So I just look up like what smithing ones are there, and I just stick to like a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of points from doing it, but it's much longer grinds.
Yeah. Honestly, I would highly recommend, if you are a gamer that is focused on tasks, not that I'm a professional by any means, but what I found to work for myself personally is I just go onto the task list on the wiki and I upload my name so that it knows which tasks I have done, and then I'll just go through one by one and like choose not just the ones that I like want to do or can do, but just the
simpler ones
that are, yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go catch a bird with a bird snare, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Okay, what does that
So
include?
very easy to
That
annoy.
includes teleporting to BJP to get to Isle of Souls. There's a bird snare spawn there and birds right there. So
There's a
it's like,
spawn here?
yeah.
I'm at Isle of Souls right now, so I'm gonna check that out soon.
Yeah, there's a bird snare spawn there. So it's like everything you need is within like, I don't know, 100 tiles of each other.
That's so cool.
So
Definitely gonna do that.
I was like stuff like that where it's like I don't necessarily want to do it, but I know it'll be fast, so I'll just knock it out real quick.
That's how I felt when I did some rune crafting ones earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
they really add up. But besides that, I mean everything that I have, Michelle's already said because we have the same thing. But
Like
one
I said, like I think 6 through 8 we're gonna choose different stuff. For 8, we're definitely choosing different because I
yeah.
really want retribution.
Yeah, I'm still
Even though the follower seems so
I
good.
am still planning on getting Guardian. It's between Guardian and Executioner for me.
Executioner sounds really fun because you could just be like trying to make time and then like CMs or something, and you could just smack almost 20% and it will die. Like that seems great.
Yeah. And another thing that I'm still in between is the next tier, tier 6.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose between, well, there's 3 of them, but oh, actually the next tier is Ruinous Powers, so I already know I'm choosing Ruinous Powers. But the one after that, I think it's tier 7, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I know how to count. Tier 7, that one allows you to choose between Berserker, which is nice because it automatically gives you a max hit on full health enemies, so that's nice.
That's very
And
nice.
also for each point of health you don't have equals 0.4% more damage.
Jeez.
So that would be really nice, but the thing is I really like the other one because it makes it so your special attack is 100% accurate and
I love
it
that.
refills every 30% every 30 seconds.
Isn't there one that oh my gosh, I just realized I've been griefing someone. Someone trying to two-tick and they just kept saying, bruh, why? I'm gonna type. Okay, sorry. Continue what you're saying. I need to apologize.
Eh,
Oh my gosh,
she just
I'm
crashed this
so
person
sorry.
2 ticking teaks.
Oh my god. Keep talking
Yikes.
and say what you're doing.
All right, yeah. But anyways, I did get my combats up though, so I guess I'll just kind of briefly go over my very near future plans.
They were like, "Can you not kill my birds?" Oh, I feel so bad.
That's really messed up. But my very near future plans is I'm about 65 combat with 60 attack and 60 strength. So I'm actually planning on getting up some GP so that I can buy chaos runes, exchange them for Toggle, and then use
The chocolate to get obsidian cape?
yeah, the thing is I want to get an obsidian cape, which is a task, and also I want to get the Avi Maul because it's a 7 tick weapon, which would make it a 3 tick weapon. And we are back. We had a little bit of a delay, but
We had to
now
go call someone real quick.
yes,
Sorry.
we have returned.
Yeah, that was just like mid sentence, so don't mind that because I don't think there's gonna be a casual way for me to edit that. It was literally mid sentence. We heard the phone.
And what is nice though is you'll have more of our undivided attention because neither of us, both of our phones are dead essentially.
Yeah, they're low battery. We were
Yeah.
both the entire time we were talking playing on our phones.
I ended up getting 50 laps, so I stopped playing. It's all good. But
I
yeah.
don't know what I got.
Besides that, I think I have a little over 1,000 total level
Cool.
and just reached tier 5, as everyone knows now. So yeah, my plans are to get some obsidian gear and go to Barrows.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have any future plans or just try to get to tier 5?
Try to get to tier 5s right now is my main plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can go over some stuff.
Some ratty things.
Some rat boy stuff.
Scurrius the Radicus.
Scurrius the Radicus, indeed. So this is the boss that we went over last week, actually. For
Mhm.
everyone that doesn't remember, this is going to be a mid-level PVM boss that previously did not have a few things that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, there has been some feedback changes to go over. So the first being on the Ratbone weaponry. So the biggest feedback was centered around naturally Chargescape once again, because if you remember, we are going to charge this weapon with spines, which is disgusting. So they included the charge mechanic originally so that rat spine drops would continue to be exciting no matter how many times you've obtained one. But they understand the community's objection to more Chargescape and have decided to remove the charge mechanic from these weapons entirely. The Ratbone staff will, however, still require 1,000 Chaos Runes to cast, which will convert to 1,000 cast of its inbuilt spell. They think that's kind of justified a little bit because it's similar to other staffs, how they also have built-in spells. So I don't think that's too chargy.
Yeah.
So with those extra rat spines, you are still going to get them. You're still going to get the rat spines, but since Scurrius is all about combat XP, they've decided to allow players to trade their extra rat spines for XP lamps redeemable against combat skills, being attack, defense, hit point, mage, prayer, range, and strength.
Cool.
Yeah. And lastly, wrap-on weaponry will now work against all rat type enemies, not just Scurrius.
Oh, that'll be cool for brine rats, I guess, if you ever get that as a task or
I
something.
started laughing in the middle of saying that. I was like, you could use it on you, but you're a mouse. I'm the rat, so.
Okay. But yeah, that's
Next.
kind of cool because if I mean, you still need.
I thought it was weird you could only use the weapon on one thing.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I wish it was just like a weaker version at everything.
Yeah,
And
it seems
then
like it's just gonna be the same
it
everywhere.
should be like a demon bane weapon.
Yeah, a rat bane weapon.
Well, yeah.
Why not?
But I wasn't too concerned with the charge thing because I mean it only works against one character, one boss. So now
Yeah,
it makes sense
now
that
it's
it
more
doesn't.
relevant.
Yeah. So that's cool. Also, they added a Scurrius pet. A lot
Yeah.
of people, including yourself, were hoping for a pet.
I was hoping they just weren't mentioning it, but it was going to be included. But they actually weren't planning on adding it because it was mid-level PVM.
Yeah. So they say your second bit of feedback was that you really, really wanted to pet the horrible rat, while Scurrius himself may object to you sticking your greasy paws all over his silky fur. We've arranged for a pet drop. So, yeah, initially they didn't want a pet because this was too low level content to warrant a pet in their opinion. However, you've shown us the light and we're delighted to introduce Scurry,
A little guy.
an adorable furry friend who will accompany you on adventures big and small.
Which means for the first time, I might actually grind a pet until I get it.
Yeah,
because
pretty
I
nice.
want a little rat.
And you should be able to kill him relatively quick. So
Yeah.
Or quickly, sorry. Lastly, we have some clarifications.
Yeah, so we saw a few comments where that the drops from this boss would include runes and arrows that aren't relevant to the level of the content, and they wanted to reassure everyone that this is not the case. Scurrius will drop death runes, chaos runes, adamant arrows, rune arrows, and a bunch of other goodies relevant to your combat levels.
That is actually really good.
Yeah, I know. It's just like bronze arrows.
Yeah.
No, that's just Leviathan that drops that.
It's funny because I just assumed it would be like adamant arrows and bolts and stuff like that, but
I assumed that it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But other people, I guess, assumed it'd be really bad.
yeah, everyone's like, oh, surely he'll just drop steel arrows,
I
which I,
know.
mean isn't
I wasn't worried about it. so.
that's definitely not something they haven't done before.
True.
So it's not unexpected,
Yeah.
at least.
The other point they wanted to say was that they have no plans to make Scurrius free to play or to introduce a hard mode for him for now. That doesn't mean that they won't in the future, but currently he literally is just supposed to be added to be mid-level PVM. Nothing extra, nothing fancy. Maybe they'll fill in those niches in the future.
Yep. So that is it. And with that being said, we can move on to the Gam Jam.
Gum Jum.
Yeah, so this is the Game Jam for 2023. This is the winter one. They have 4 year now?
4 year.
Yeah, 4 year. So I guess one of the winter ones. So broadly, the Game Jam focused on 3 kinds of content: islands and points of interest at sea. Obviously, as you can imagine, with sailing coming up.
This was all sailing themed Game
yeah.
Jam.
Standalone content that can be placed at an island or a point of interest, as well as traditional content that can be placed at an island or a point of interest. So to be clear, we did not address sailing training methods. That's what the core sailing team are working on. This is mostly just for special
Extra
things.
little things, yeah.
Yeah.
Reminder, all these projects are just concepts and not guaranteed to enter the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just looking at the odds, chances are 1 or 2 of these will be added. So, and there's a list of like 10.
Oh, let me say again though, even though most of this is related to sailing, I think maybe just one, but maybe a couple are not related to sailing. Just majority. Just a heads up. Because starting out first out with the rune pouch bank integration. So one of the biggest quality life suggestions that I think even I've actually tweeted at Modash asking for before was the ability to freely interchange your runes while inside the bank. So during Game Jam,
Oh, this is huge.
this is huge, huge, and it gets huger. Modash took it upon himself to make just that. So this feature is built for your convenience, allows you to get runes in and out of your pouch much easier than before, all while inside the bank interface. And not only will you be able to put specific runes directly in your pouch, there are 4 handy loadout options for you to customize.
Yeah, the loadouts are crazy.
I forget what to bring for thralls literally every time and have to Google it or have someone in chat tell me.
Yeah.
So this is nice. I could just have my little thralls, my standard farming run, and then my vengeance set up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I hate it whenever you're like yeah, like doing thralls or something like that, and then you're like, oh, I kind of want to just do alk agility, and you have to like take all of
Take
those
everything
out and
out
then put the new
manually.
ones
Yeah.
in.
It's really annoying. This would be a huge quality of life. I don't see this not getting added.
I mean, I could see it not getting added just because it's Jagex, but
Oh yeah, but I mean like voting wise and stuff.
oh
Like
yeah.
this
It's
seems
really, it's
obvious.
literally just quality of life. It's really nothing additional to the game.
Yeah, but I think it's huge quality of
I
life.
mean,
Like it's something that's
obviously
above me a
the
lot.
purists wouldn't like it, but I think most people would.
Yes.
Next thing we have is lighthouses.
Yeah.
So lighthouses are pretty cool. It says Mod Melia's project explored how a few strategically placed lighthouses might allow players to sail more efficiently and provide new and interesting gameplay to boot.
Cool.
Yeah. She designed a potential sailing HUD uh, featuring compass points, the sea, and the horizon. For now, lighthouses are displayed as circles. The flashing patterns and size allow you to identify a lighthouse at a glance, and they get bigger and higher on the HUD the closer you get to them. Different areas around the lighthouse display different colors to indicate danger. You'll know right away if there are rocks on the horizon. Don't worry, in the final version of this HUD, we'll make it
Colorblind friendly.
yeah, red, green, and colorblind friendly. Honestly, I don't really like this. One, it was like kind of confusing to read it. If you couldn't tell, I was reading it like a 5-year-old, and
I don't know. It's just
it
like
just seems a little too
much.
over-engineered. Like it's like this is a little
Yeah.
too
Well,
complicated.
if you remember, like obviously Game Jam are just ideas. They usually get more refined. So just the idea of lighthouse. They also say like they're not just for finding your way around, and there's some other things that could be used for. So puzzle quest sections where the key to navigating treacherous water is to follow a set of instructions using lighthouses as landmarks. Navigate treacherous water, chart the path, and then build new beacons to open traffic to other boats. Is that a lighthouse or a pretty Cyclops lady winking? Better go look.
What?
If it was a pretty Cyclops lady winking, that'd be pretty funny. Now
Yeah.
they have to add that to the game. Do we want to signal sea hazards and point of interest? Do we want to have buoys and other seed markers? See them mapped on the world map? Lighthouses open up all of these kinds of possibilities.
Yeah, I was thinking
It's, I don't know.
I was thinking more along the lines of the third one they mentioned. I think it'd be kind of cool if like the lighthouse concept was like a moving lighthouse, like maybe it was like a moving island, like the back of a turtle or something like
That's
that.
cute.
And then like it'll pop up and if you go to it, then it'll instantly like reveal whatever events are in the area
Mm-hmm.
or something like that because
I don't want to actually navigate by using
yeah, I don't
them.
want to be like, "Oh, there's rocks coming up." It's like I don't
Yeah.
really care about
Make it
that.
a little bit more fun than that. I
Yeah.
think it could just be cool to use them simply as like landmarks, and you'll be like, oh, if the lighthouse is this color, you know it's like this kind of island.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
It's
I
all.
don't know.
It's just okay to me.
I'm not really
Not
sold on the
sold.
idea.
I'm not sold.
True.
Next up is sailing islands and dungeons. So first up, we have Crab Isle, a small island untouched by human hands, but not by little crabby claws. Here you'll be able to collect special bait found exclusively on this island and use it to summon the giant crab boss. Defeat every level 1 RPG player's worst nightmare, and you'll obtain treasure and some tasty crab meat. So it's just a little blue crab. Of course he's blue. He's a rare. He's a little boss.
On Crab Island, it looks like a crab.
I don't even see it, to be honest.
Okay.
What's what?
It's a crab.
Okay. Anyway, next we're venturing to what we've dubbed the Lost Chasm. It's weird that they just put a picture of Robert on here. It's the old style of the demons, and they look so goofy. They're like, oh. So the Lost Chasm. This desolate island has almost been lost beneath the waves, thanks to a lingering evil hoping to return to its powerful demonic form. Venture deep inside and discover the mysteries of the death, if you dare. I like just the idea of them having a goofy little demon who
Yeah.
looks nothing like the new ones.
Yeah,
And
looks
he's
cool.
like, I've been here for 1,000 years.
This one's pretty simple. This next one is Revenant Island.
Yes, just like he does go over in the beginning. This is Mod Make It and saying how they are not much of a PvPer, so like bear with them. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong thing. Don't mind me. I mean to say that for a different one.
Okay.
Just talk.
Anyways, yeah, this is Revenant Island. It's just like Revenants. There
But
we
on an
go.
island.
Yeah. It's technically 30 wildy as well as 50k GP to get in. So
Yeah.
it is pretty much exactly like Rev Caves.
Accessible only via ships though. And they also said that they're gonna be a little bit different. You have multiple players attacking the revenants at once, and they'll be in a small consolidated area, so there's less downtime.
Yeah. And also the spiciest reward of them all will be the Revenant Collector. So it says this magical item automatically collects drops from NPCs while the user is in the wilderness, providing you have space, of course, and you'll need 500k GP to activate it.
That sounds kind of like the keys. Is
Uh,
that kind of like the keys?
no, not really, because this is for NPCs.
Oh, okay, never mind. You're right. You're right.
So
I was thinking the keys.
yeah. So essentially, if you want a Rev Cave Island,
That's nice.
yeah.
Next is project rebalances in general. So a few mods took some time away from like new things and decided to talk about how they could improve older content. They don't go too into detail, but they do say that we could expect more information about the exact changes they want to make very soon to make the game feel more well-rounded.
This will never happen.
I think it will, but very slowly.
Yeah, mostly just because of how vague it is.
Yeah, they do say though that we don't want you to make your decision based on a bunch of numbers in a blog. We want you to get your hands on and experience the difference these changes makes to feel the difference. So that kind of makes it sound like it's going to be in a beta, but yeah, the most important part of all of this that I've been looking forward to getting to is that they mention we're having ongoing discussions surrounding the scythe and the fang. These are part of the discussions we're having internally as well, and it may be that we highlight our plans for these items much earlier than other rebalancing changes. So I don't know if you heard, the scythe is up to like 800 mil now.
Yeah, so
It's gone up hundreds of mils since this blog came out.
well, yeah, because the scythe is bad, everyone knows that,
Yeah.
and the fang is too good, and everyone knows that.
And now this blog is hinting the scythe is going to get better, the fang's going to get worse. So the scythe is finally expensive again, and I'm
Nice.
so happy about it when it was dipped.
Yeah. Next thing is also again kind of simple. Sailing quests. We got started with not 1, 2, but 4 quests during Game Jam. But yeah, these are pretty self-explanatory quests specifically for sailing. Yeah, it includes desert islands filled with fiendish puzzles, tricky Tortugan trials rather, and a very rude sword, and more cursed items. So yeah, I think that'll probably make it in if I had to guess.
Some fun little quests. It says that there's 3 standalone, but their 4th is a thrilling conclusion that has like the finality of the tale. For now, though, because they always add more.
Okay.
Except for the ones from like 2006 that they've given up on.
Yeah.
Next up is intensive skilling. So for mid-level players, skilling is seen as a means to an end, a grind to complete before you can access the most fun parts of the game. How often have you guys heard someone talk about, I need a max before I could really play the game?
Well, yeah.
It shouldn't be a chore, and they're realizing that. So their goal is to get more players to enjoy skilling instead of seeing it as an obstacle on the path to the end game. But we also want to cater to players who love skilling just the way it is. So we know that players love fast-paced, mechanically challenging combat bosses like raid bosses. Combat content like raids and bosses. So we've explored how we could design similar content to focus on skills. We do think that should feel different to PVM thematically, of course. But they did say even skill-based bosses like Wintertot feel more like skilling than combat. This is because of it preserving the elements of rhythm and repetition that skilling thrives on, a learning we're definitely building into our designs. So on that note, we saw some options that went beyond skill bossing. After all, we want skilling to be engaging even when you don't have a giant enemy monster looming over you. They don't say, oh, they do say underneath. I was like, they don't say in this paragraph. I thought they did. So they had a couple of different ideas that they had. The first one is rapid harpoon fishing. This fast-paced fishing activity delivers a more intensive version of harpoon fishing. Rather than simply clicking the spot and tapping out, this activity challenges you to predict your target's movement and react swiftly to get the catch. So you actually have to pay attention while fishing for the first time ever. While stood on a bridge, you'll see a fish swimming downstream through 3 different columns at varying speeds. The fish always spawn at regular intervals, but they move at varying speeds. They just did that like twice, basically.
Yeah.
Click the right fish at the right time, and you'll have an improved chance to catch the fish. Sometimes 2 fish might spawn at once, but watch out. One of them will be a big fish or a poisonous fish. Bigger ones reward additional resources on a successful catch, but poisonous ones will destroy a percentage of the fish in your inventory, and these are a guaranteed catch. Of course, it could be better XP if you catch the poisonous one, so you have more inventory space.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit like how they've been leaning into like the give or take, like, do you want more reward or do you like via XP or via fish? And I like that they've been leaning into that a lot lately, I feel like.
Yeah. This next one's my favorite because of the name.
I didn't totally finish that, but there is a chance for tick manipulation in that one as well. But next is Mud Boy.
BOI.
BOI, Mud Boy. So this mining encounter blends themes and thematics of mining with PvM-oriented mechanics. The Mud Boy begins the fight lurking just below the surface. Players must mine the pillars in its boss room to release the lava within and force the creature out. It will then attempt to reseal the columns by flinging mud, all while attacking the players. Dodge the mud, mine the pillars, and whittle down the monster's health to proceed to the next stage of the fight. At a certain health percentage, the Mud Boy will become rock, which means it's now mineable. Keep out of the way of its devastating ground-targeted attacks while mining as much as you can. There's another scaling activity where tick manipulation is an advantage, and it's possible in both phases of the fight, and when done correctly, it means that players will never have to miss a mining action to dodge an attack. I know I will not be doing that correctly.
Yeah, it's funny because it sounds like a mini game, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, right?
No, I mean like it's not like a separate mini game
Oh, yeah.
area.
But yeah, those are just a couple of the ideas that they were trying to think of, like more fun skilling, because especially mining, like, come on,
Yeah,
no one likes mining. I'm glad that they came up with something.
Mine is actually pretty cool. It's
This is really cool.
But I mean, again, it's kind of funny. All mine are really self-explanatory.
Yeah.
This is a sailing mini raid.
Yes, which I love, but I already want to say, why not just spend more time working on another raid rather than a mini raid?
I mean, it's not bad to have some mini raids.
I just never had mini raids, so I don't even know what that means really.
It's funny because in WoW there are certain raids where it's just one boss.
Oh, there's still multiple bosses.
Yeah, and there's some where there's like 2 or somewhere 3, but like the actual raids are like like 8.
I guess I'm not used to it as a concept. To me, it just seems strange to have it, but it does sound fun. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Either way, it says that Naka, which is the captain that you're going to be following, investigated the artifact and discovered that whoever wielded it had the power to control others. Lured by the promise of such power, Naka used it to curse his crew and banish them to the end of the ocean. He then searched for a suitable lair, killing the original inhabitants and cursing the few survivors to protect the skull with their very lives. But Nikal still isn't satisfied. His next goal is to rule over the oceans of Galenor. Wow, what a mean bad guy.
We have to stop him.
Anyways,
we have to do something.
Yeah, this raid is aimed at mid to high level players with moderate sailing levels, whatever that means. And like other raids, the Coves of Naka, which is the name of it, will have a lobby.
Naka? I was thinking Nakahi.
It probably is.
I don't know. We have to look.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm totally.
There's an I at the end.
Yeah, I'm totally pronouncing it wrong.
It's
Nakahai.
I like it because it sounds like a macaw, like the bird.
Nakahai.
Okay.
Anyways, Nakahi is that's his place. This is his house, and you're gonna raid it. It has 3 little areas with 3 bosses. A giant crab, and it's funny because they did little drawings, and it looks like a little hermit crab. A mermaid, as well as a sea serpent.
Yes.
So that'd be kind of cool if they incorporated sailing into the sea serpent one.
Yeah, I think that to reach this raid in general, you have to like sail there.
Yeah.
So you will have to do sailing.
Some rewards you might be able to get are the Nalukai's robes. Nalukai's robes. I don't know. A new mid-level mage set with a sailing theme set effect. For example, bonus magic damage while attacking monsters at sea. Serpent staff, mid-level staff with a special attack. Raid cape, which is a new set of tiered capes like the ones in Chambers, Tob, and TOA.
They look pretty cute.
They do look pretty cool. Also, mermaid figurehead. It's a figurehead, as well as a mermaid flag.
Yeah, both these can actually be put onto your ship, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This next one can be put on as plating for your ship, and that's hermit crab shell fragments. And of course,
most importantly,
there is a little pet, which is actually with a transmog for different bosses.
So the original pet is going to be the crab, and you have to get the transmog for the sea serpent and the mermaid.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it looks good.
I want it. Next is Team Rumble. This is what I was mistakenly talking about earlier. So Mod Sarni says that they don't really dip their toes into PvP, but they had an idea for a fresh team-based experience, Team Rumble. So this pitch is all about utilizing cool environments in the game that don't see a lot of use currently for a PvP experience. Essentially, it's a Counter-Strike style mode for OS PvP. So the aims were team-based PvP, versatility and replayability, accessibility for new and returning players, and competitive potential, ranking system, events, tournaments, etc., etc. In Team Rumble, 2 teams of 5 to 6 players are spawned into their chosen arena. Each arena has a unique objective. All players start with the same stats, tokens, and equipment. The Rumble's set, which can be upgraded in 4 different ways, being like different vulnerabilities and strengths, or just having like minor boost to all stats. At the start of the round, players have 45 seconds to purchase more equipment and supplies using tokens. They can choose from a range of gear, items, and unlocks that can switch up their strategy, protection prayers, new spellbook, armor, and weapon upgrades, and more. During the minigame itself, the focus is about battling other players and working towards the map objectives. Each round lasts around 2 minutes, so it's fast paced and fun. And each time you earn points for your team by competing objectives or defeating opponents, you'll earn extra tokens to spend on better equipment in the upcoming rounds. If you die within a round, you will drop all of your item, and any player can go and pick them up except for the armor. And the next round, you'll be bumped into the basic equipment. Once players reach round 6, all upgrades are reset. So even if the winning team are super far ahead and have the best stuff, everyone has a chance to catch up, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
One thing with Castle Wars, specifically, like also PvP based, is you know who's gonna win from the beginning. Like there's always someone who's like winning, and it's like you really have no chance, or it
Oh,
feels
I've
like it
never
at
played. Yeah.
least. Yeah. So that's cool. Players have the ability to drop items on the floor for their teammates, allowing the strongest players in the team to help out the weakest. I actually really like this. So we have a few ideas for the arenas and associated objectives might look like. The first one being the Haunted Mine. This is
Yeah.
actually really cool. So team deathmatch. Rack up kills over the rounds to score points for your team. Use the environmental hazards to kill your opponent and net more points. The Haunted Mine was like the hardest quest for me whenever I first did it. So I think it'd be really cool to go there in a PvP environment. Next is Elemental Workshop. Control. Take over and protect different areas of the workshop in order. Gain enough points and you'll unlock a powerful weapon for a brief time. And lastly, Keldegrin Rat Pits. Cats versus rats. Defeat the enemy team and their creature companions to earn points. It's nice because they're choosing 3 places that don't get a lot of people. And rather than like having arenas be in new places, they're kind of like revitalizing the areas, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's cool. And also they do have a full breakdown of like
All the different
all
gears
the different
and stuff
types
that
of
you'll get.
gear with like different focuses and different weaknesses. So you can like fully check that out if you want to,
Yeah,
but it's
there's like
like
20.
yeah, there's a ton of items, so we're not going to read them all out.
Yeah. So ideally, they do plan to add a matchmaking and ranking system to this minigame, which would make finding and playing games easy and encouraging. But if you have any thoughts on this and the rewards specifically, go and hit up Mod Sarni. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a little PvP minigame. Let them know what you think.
Yeah. And apparently Mod Sarni is still working on the OSRS trading card game if you are interested in
Oh, I didn't know what TCG meant. I literally Googled it and couldn't figure it out.
that. Yeah.
So he's
Um,
not giving up on that.
Also, the next thing we're going into is yet again something kind of self-explanatory in the name.
It's interesting though.
Procedurally generated islands and caverns. So these are just random islands and caverns, I'm guessing, that you'll find throughout your exploration.
Yeah.
It says once we saw the port worked well and
The
procedural
random generated port.
yeah, random generated port worked well and procedural generation was possible, we started thinking about how we could dress the content up differently. How flexible was this system? So, with sailing in mind, we decided to expand the system to include underwater caverns as well as islands. And in this deep dive, we ironed out a lot of the systems behind it and started to experiment with adding different kinds of content to the generated spaces. We can still see room for improvements before we try to take this technology into the future, but it's clear that it works. So that's pretty cool. I think that's nice because then, well, it's nice and not nice. Like, I like kind of knowing what to expect, so I hope it's not super random.
Well, they say that a lot of the rooms will be going again and again. Like a lot of them will be commonly showing up. I just am worried about like what you'll even do there. Like is it going to be skilling? Like I don't know. They
Yeah,
do say though that this is not going to be dungeoneering even though it looks a lot like dungeoneering.
yeah. It's not gonna be dungery.
I know I can't stop. Shush.
But yeah, this maze may not look like much, but it proves that all the infrastructure is in place, and they have a little GIF of
A
what,
character running around a maze.
yeah, what the maze would actually look like. And also it says that all the infrastructure is in place for us to create winding mazes with rooms locked behind puzzles or encounters. We have the option to keep things bare bones with only a critical path to follow or to add more space for exploration.
I
So it'll
just
be a little bit better than dungeoneering in that regard.
I just don't really understand. the point of it, because it seems like bosses would be on it if you have it behind locked rooms, but then it's randomly generated. So do you have to just keep going to random islands and hope you find the island again? I don't know. I'm open to it, but I don't
Yeah,
really get it.
I have no idea. But that is it for the game jam.
They have a
Uh,
survey built into the blog post again.
yes, it is 2 questions, huge. Make sure to fill that out if you care about any of this content. If not, then I mean, I'm sure you'll see an update on this in like 5 to 9 months.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so that is it. We can move on to the Varlamore
Varlamore.
stuff. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a short little feedback thing based on what we talked about before. So, starting out with the Varlamore Agility course. Feedback about the upcoming agility course largely centered on its place in the game. Many of you pointed out that compared to similar level rooftop courses, which help players work towards graceful, this course doesn't offer much in the way of utility. We approach this problem in 2 ways. Firstly, we've lowered the agility level requirement from 55 to 50, which means that now it will slot in nicely between Canopus and Seer. Secondly, we introduced a bit of utility.
Rest in peace, Falador.
Oh, no one goes there. Just you. Second, we've introduced a bit of utility with a new use for those pesky termites. Players will now be able to grind them into some lovely bug jelly, and you can trade that to an NPC along with a bit of coin to sweeten the deal, and you'll get one of the most valuable agility resources out there, Amethyst Crystal.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I actually really like the idea of being able to get this without having Marks of Grace. I think that's nice. They say that it'll be significantly faster than obtaining them on rooftops and more in theme with the content.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if people think that's too good, maybe, but
I mean, the thing is, it's still placed at a really weird level. At level 50 or 55, the chances of you having your full outfit is practically 0.
yeah,
So you're
they
still
almost should
gonna
have
do
made
rooftops.
it higher
Yeah,
rather than lower.
you're still gonna do rooftops. Like
Yeah.
you get your outfit just before Sears, if I recall.
I got mine at Sears because I was late.
Yeah, like you get it right
I
around
was
when
at
you
the
get to
Wilderness
Sears.
Agility course for a long time, weirdly.
And that's only doing rooftops.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I stayed at Canopus for like 400 laps or something like that, and I think either barely had enough or just had enough for my outfit, which is obviously what every new account is going to grind for on
Yeah.
rooftops. So this doesn't fix that, which I think it kind of makes it weird. I think it's cool to go back to.
Yeah. So you think it's nice, but the level doesn't really make sense.
I mean, it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's just that it doesn't matter. At that
Yeah.
point, it's like maybe that's something that people might explore, but I mean, obviously, if you're trying to
Irons
be
will go and get that for staminas, no?
staminas require like 92 herblore to make. I don't know if it's actually 92. I know it is really high though.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you will go back if it's a significantly higher way to get amylase. Irons will like this probably because you'll go back
Yeah.
and you'll get to experience it eventually, but you're not going to do it at 50
Mm-hmm.
unless you want to break up the monotony of rooftops.
Yeah. Next they say just Varlamore activity requirements. So this is like kind of related because I was just talking about like maybe it should be higher level. One thing of feedback that they received a lot was that it seems like it's all relatively low level requirements and that there's nothing there for late game players. They would like to say that the variety of options means that there's something here for everyone, but we do understand that high level players want something specifically for them. With the current level requirements for all activities we've spoken about are in line with our goals for part 1. We still have parts 2 and 3 to go, so there's plenty of room to add some higher level activities.
Yeah.
And watch this space.
And yeah,
They don't say anything about what it will be, but supposedly there's stuff for high level players.
I think a lot of people are worried about that because one, in the low levels, it may feel boring, but honestly, you're not there for that long. So
It feels like a long time until you start a second account, go back, and you're like, this is so easy.
yeah, or until you're like, all right, I'm gonna go for a 99. Then you're like, oh,
I never knew pain before.
400 laps is actually not that much considering I have to get like 4,000 laps
Yeah.
for like one level.
True.
So yeah, I don't know. It makes sense why it's like higher level content means that there's gonna be people around because they're gonna be there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. But I do think there should be some like breaking up of like early game stuff
Hopefully in
or
phase
some
2
mix up or
they'll have some
something.
more.
Yeah, so I kind of like the response, I guess.
Okay.
And for the final part, we have Kourend changes and restricted account builds. From new to old, let's take a look at the changes we're making to our proposal to do away with Kourend favor.
You're gonna like a lot of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says the majority of feedback was concerned that certain account types would no longer be able to access content with some of our changes in place. While we generally agree with the statement that we call them restricted accounts for a reason, okay, let's calm down. When you change up the game, the accounts take
they
years to make.
they even say this content's been available for more than 6 years. It's unfair for us to remove it now.
Yeah, come on, man.
You can't blame the accounts if it's like they made their account after this was already in the game.
Therefore, we'll be tweaking some of the new requirements for certain content. Starting with Blast Mine and Tithe Farm no longer require quests because that is the way they were meant to
Yeah,
be.
nothing. Just a spoiler. None of this is going to require quests anymore.
Wow, spoiler, I didn't even read it all yet.
There's other stuff that you could read.
But anyways, it still will require mining and farming. Blood and Soul Altars will still require rune crafting. Stealing artifacts will require thieving. Farming patches protection will be unlocked with the completion of the Kourend and Kebo's easy achievement diary.
Easy. I thought that should be like hard, maybe.
I guess that's passable. No, bro, 60? You can get that in an hour.
I guess.
But 60% for a favor, that is.
Yeah.
The Hasidious Kitchen will be unlocked with the easy diary as well. Lizardman Shamans will just straight up be unlocked from forever.
No reason for them to be locked.
The Arceus spellbook can now be unlocked by speaking to Ties at the Dark Altar. No other requirements.
Yes.
We also want to clarify that some items which no longer have purposes will be changed or removed. Supply crates, supply armor will be supply crates are just getting removed. Supply armor will be converted to the equivalent armor set, and band-aids will be removed from the game. Dude, stock up on band-aids.
What if I got what if I need a band-aid?
You got a boo-boo.
I got a
Lastly,
boo-boo.
some of you weren't happy about the new hand in a box Shazian supply armor clue step. The clue step only allowed players to hand in specialty tier 2 plate bodies.
Specifically tier 2.
Like I said, specifically specialty tier 2 plate bodies. We've made things less restrictive, and players can now hand in any plate body of tier 2 and above.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's cool because that would ruin so many people's experience, including mine.
So upset about the quest thing, actually. This is great.
Yeah, because those requirements for those quests were a lot more
higher than you'd expect. Than you just
if they're all like, oh, do the like client of Kourend and you'll unlock all this stuff, I'd be like, okay, sure, that's like, okay, that's fine. But they're all like, oh, and also do like several hours of quests. I'm like, no.
No, I refuse.
No, that is not happening. But yeah, so I'm glad they changed it.
Yep.
Now I can do Tithe Farm with a protected patch, how life should be.
Yeah, and now we can move on to the most important part of this week, being leagues.
Yes, leagues.
Leagues is here.
Yeah, leagues is here. It's been going on for a few days. There's already every world first has happened almost already. So
someone in our chat yesterday was the first person to get a shadow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They said like they confirmed it, and I was like, oh, okay, GZ. I am cutting trees.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, there are leagues firsts for anyone that cares. First Jad, first Zuck, completing the Zarket Rax 7th challenge, Elite Achievement Diary, Tier 8 Relic, 5th Area Unlock, first 99, as well as first Max. Kill a goblin, first to kill a lesser demon.
First to kill a goblin, that's just whoever's internet's the best, honestly.
Whoever got the
Just
PID,
like,
whoever got PID on login, catching a lucky impling, killing Nex, Tombs, Theater, Chambers, killing Fasani, opening the hollowed coffin, the grand hollowed coffin, elven crystal chest, obtaining points for easy combat achievements, completing a master clue scroll, killing a demonic Desert Treasure 2 boss,
killing a demonic gorilla, and then killing a Desert Treasure 2.
And killing the Phantom Muspa, and killing an awakened DT2 boss. So
or
all of
also
those,
known as a demonic Desert Treasure 2 boss.
I mean, yes. So all of those are world first stuff. A lot of them have already been claimed.
I wouldn't be surprised if all of them have been claimed.
I don't think anyone's maxed.
That's probably the only thing.
Maybe.
I mean, it's been over 24 hours now. People could be maxed.
I don't think so, just because certain things take a long time.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, I mean, the first Zuck was killed on the first day.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be that surprised.
So, Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much all of these have been claimed by this point. There's nothing really too difficult on here. The only thing that's on here that is like difficult or time consuming is Max.
Yes,
And so that might not be claimed. It might be by the time you're hearing this though.
it's probably.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I don't even know like what exactly we should go into for leagues, to be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a full infographic telling you all the stuff that unlocks in each area in case you're still wondering.
Reminder, there are 8 tiers of relics that you have to get points to unlock each tier, and then you have some difficult choices to make how you want to improve your own game.
Yes, and on top of that, there is a full breakdown video of the starter relics and what Leagues is about on the old school channel. If you want to check it out, I would highly recommend it. Also, there's a bunch of rewards here, don't forget.
I'm
And
still only bronze trophy.
if you are still interested in Leagues ranks, you can check in the game. It's available all the
Yeah.
time. And you are going to need for, I'll just go through Adamant through Dragon. You're going to need 28,000 for Adamant, 42,000 for Rune, and 56,000 for Dragon, which is quite a bit.
I don't have even close.
I think I'm 1,000 off of Iron.
Nice. I'm still in bronze by a lot.
Yeah. I was honestly, it's funny because I was at 3,000 for most of the day, and then the like last few hours, I
You
just
went
started
hard.
blasting
Yeah.
like tasks.
Oh, one thing that is cool though, in leagues they added like all the new animations that are gonna be rewards after. So if you die, it does the burning. If you do the home telly, it does a little and I guess the Venge works too, but I'm not gonna get the Venge spellbook.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. There's also some merch updates, so
Yeah, a
make sure
new
to check that
pin for
out.
the new leagues. It looks very fancy and
Trailblazer.
dramatic.
Yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, honestly, that's kind of it.
I know, I'm like, I don't even know what to say because it's mostly stuff we've said every single week and just saying now it's actually here.
Yeah. Yeah, that like the last teaser was that there is an eighth. I think it was that there's an eighth relic.
Yes.
So
Oh, if you didn't see, we also uploaded a video talking about our plans as well in
yeah,
detail.
which I have stuck to mostly.
Yes. Supposedly, Robert might be making videos of his progress as well.
Yeah, I said I would, and hopefully I will. It's just hard to pull myself away from leagues to do that.
Literally, like, I'm like, should we even record this right now? Should I just end it right now?
I mean, we should end it right now. So
No,
let's
we
get
have a
to
Q&A.
let's get to the questions.
All right, our first question is from Pure Gaming on YouTube. Do any of you PK and Bounty Hunter, and have you ever?
No.
I thought you did it before, years ago.
Years ago I
counts.
participated, and I don't think I got any actual like kills.
Yeah, that's how I made my first mill was the 1 years ago. I let someone kill me for 1,000,000 gold because I didn't know any better. And this year I did play it when it came out, but I was really tragically bad at it. I want to go back. I want to eventually like learn PvP and stuff and go back for like the Dragon Warhammer Dragonclaw recolor, but it's just so not a priority because I'm
Yeah.
just really bad at PvP.
Yeah, honestly, this is gonna be such a like funny, weird, obscure equivalency.
Okay.
But
You always say the weird ones.
I feel like the reason I don't get into PKing a lot is mostly because it breaks down to it doesn't feel like it's worth my time to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, the people that are good at it are already still doing it. It's gonna take me so long to learn. I'll be losing money while doing it, all this stuff. It just at the end, I don't think I'll get what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel worth it.
It's not fun to you.
So
It's essentially what it is.
the equivalency for me is like kind of like it reminds me like drop shipping, where everyone that like got in early with like drop shipping, I mean,
What's
people
drop shipping?
like whenever
I wasn't gonna ask and pretend I know, and I was like, no, I don't know what that even means.
like a lot of people are like, oh, this is like a get rich quick scheme now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that's kind of how people are with PKing, and they're like with drop shipping, they're like, oh, if you make like these sunglasses, everyone buys them, they just send it straight from China and you get all the profits.
Oh,
So it's like get rich quick, like do no work.
yeah.
And that's kind of like how the PvP videos remind me. Like this person just like, oh, I just PK'd 5 guys and I got 8 bill. Now I'm
No,
good to go.
Literally, everyone that I know that like did bounty hunters seriously in the beginning or like DMM, they just like went and made a bunch of money and then didn't do it anymore.
Yeah. It's
not
kind
very
of funny.
long
Yeah,
term.
it's kind of funny because it reminds me of that. Like if you got into it early
Mhm.
and are just good at PvP, obviously there's a skill level thing to it, then you're probably making a bunch of money, which
Yeah.
is what, those videos are about. But like if you didn't get into it early, it's probably like you look like you're like getting suckered into it is what it feels like.
True. Yeah. Okay. I see that.
But that's why I don't really PK that much. But I did watch people do the new bounty hunter and it looked cool. I
Mm-hmm.
just it's like whenever I watch high level people play Counter Strike or Tarkov,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But it's cool because I know what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for RuneScape though.
No.
Okay. A couple more questions from Discord. Um, First off, Harger said, not too long ago, I recommended someone on Reddit to play OSRS because he's looking for a game that an interesting ancient civilization explore and discover secrets and mysteries. He came back to me a few days later and said us his hero and enemy because now he's addicted. Do you feel bad about making people addicted to OSRS?
No. I don't feel bad about almost anything, especially recommending people to play games.
Want to elaborate?
Um, yeah, I mean, like, if you like the game, it's cool. I've recommended people to play it, and they didn't like it.
So you haven't gotten anyone addicted?
No, I haven't gotten anyone addicted. It's funny. The only game I got someone like low key addicted to was whenever me and my homie that lives in Florida, we got super into Warframe.
Okay.
I have like 2,000 hours on Warframe, and like I think I was like unemployed or something at the time, but we were playing like every day. We would just wake up and we would play. I think he was in between jobs or something at the time. He's an accountant,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it was funny. Like we were playing every single day, and then he just disappeared.
Oh, you ruined his life.
Disappeared. Like I still see him log on every once in a while, so he's not like gone. But
He's not dead.
yeah, but like he still logs on. But no, I don't think you should feel bad for getting someone into a game. They know how to. It's not like it's in a like a bad addiction necessarily. It's not like you got them addicted to drugs, right? And I mean they can stop at any time.
Okay.
So
I don't think I've gotten anyone addicted to it. You know what? I'd say that maybe we both got me addicted to it because like we were both playing it, and I think that you playing it encouraged me to play it more because I didn't have like anyone to play with at the times before I started streaming. So like it's kind of your fault.
oh
But in a
okay.
way, in a way it's your fault. I've never gotten even addicted to it. I've gone to a few people to play it before, but no one's gone like super crazy. I feel like the closest I've gotten to getting someone addicted to a game is getting you addicted to Pokemon Go for a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But you got over it really quickly.
yeah.
All it took was me at Disneyland saying, maybe we should play a little bit less, and you deleted the app.
True.
It was a very dramatic
It's
Disneyland
a
experience.
I was gonna say it's a little difficult for like me to get my friends addicted to RuneScape because only like two of them ever really, in my opinion, played MMOs,
Yeah.
and he thinks the game looks like trash.
They show him HD?
Yeah, he
Oh.
still doesn't. He's very particular,
Yeah.
and
That's
so
fair, though.
yeah, so he never has even tried it. It doesn't look interesting to him. But yeah, I don't know about the like. I don't really think most people should feel bad about like getting people addicted to things, mostly
I mean, then
because
maybe in real life, some things.
I mean, maybe if like you're forcing someone to do something, but like my whole life I grew up around like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, and I've never felt compelled to do them, not
Mm-hmm.
even a single time, which is why I haven't. Obviously, I drank because I was like trying it out, but nothing else ever like caught my attention.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's I don't know. A life is just a bunch of choices, right? So
This
you
is
could
turning into
just
Robert saying, just say no to drugs. It's easy.
I mean, it really is that easy. So it's like that's why I don't. It's like kind of mean, whatever. But I don't really feel bad about most things like that because it's like someone could just be like, "No, I'm not into that," and be like, "All right, cool."
Okay.
It's like it's that easy. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just don't get anyone addicted to drugs and we're good.
Yeah, ideally, don't do that. That's just you're just like not a cool person at that point. But
And our last question from Matt. Would you vote yes in a poll suggesting to introduce, I don't know how to pronounce this word,
Cyrillic.
Cyrillic script into OSRS? The script's used as the official script in 8 countries, co-official in 6, and over 250 million people use it. Imagine OSRS would expand its audience a little bit if it attempted to enter the Eastern European market. Definitely would. I think that they should just have servers in every language, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there's also just like lots of people in like Latin America who play the game and speak Spanish, and there's no like South America servers at all, and that
True.
it just would make way more sense. in my opinion, for them to have servers in every language of people that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
yes.
think yeah, I think games are like should be recognized when they localize for like many different countries.
Hmm.
You know, like changing all the in-game text, you know, doing proper translation because that's like a really intensive process.
Yeah.
And they should be commended for that, but this is going to be like the probably one of my worst takes in my opinion.
Okay.
But it's a very privileged take obviously.
Oh, you're gonna say they
But I
should spend
was
time doing other stuff instead.
no, I was going to say that I think most games should focus on English first. And that's just because honestly, like it's kind of becoming like I don't know if it's becoming, but in my journeys and from my understanding talking to friends that have been international, like English is kind of just like spoken a lot of places. Like you're not going to be all like I mean, obviously this is like an obscure reference, but you're not gonna like go to different places and be like, oh, these people don't speak Swahili. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, I get what you mean, but also at the same time, because of how we are and where we choose to visit, we're more likely to run people who speak English because we're specifically going places where or want to go places where people do speak English. Like there's plenty of places where people just don't speak English at all.
No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously that's why I was saying it's like a privileged state.
Yeah.
Like most places, not. I don't even think most places, but some places just don't have the capacity to teach people multiple languages.
Like in the
Like
US for some reason.
well, yeah, like exactly. Like I would, and just to be like put this out there and to be fair, if everyone spoke Russian, for example, like if you know half the nation spoke Russian, I'd be like, yeah, we should all as a nation learn some Russian.
Hmm.
But that's just not how you know the game was played or how it played out. So it's like,
You just think that whatever the largest speaking majority is of the game, the server should just be in that language.
yeah, and it just makes sense. Like I
But it could expand the game if they introduced other languages into it.
yeah, I agree. That's why I think it should still be done, but I don't think it should be like I don't think the focus should be other languages. I think it should like with time come, but the fact that they can barely get out regular content as it is makes me think that they shouldn't necessarily focus on I mean, obviously 250 million people is a lot of people, but a large amount of them know enough English to play a video game is what I
Um,
mean.
I just want it in every language because that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. It wouldn't affect me either way. I'm just saying like it makes more sense to not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuz like even like our friend that went to Japan recently, he's like, "Yeah, I had no problems speaking to people in English
Yeah. It also, I mean,
or like using Google Translate."
yeah. I was gonna say again, also like the places that we went and that they went were big cities.
Well, yeah. That's
Even
why
whenever we went to smaller cities in the Netherlands, people weren't speaking English anymore.
yeah, but I mean they still understood and we were talking about like obscure things like veganism.
It was so weird how people in the Netherlands were like, I'm like, do you speak English? And they're like, a little. And then they like speak perfect English. And I'm like, okay. When I say speak a little Dutch, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot easier for them to understand it than to speak it. In most languages like
That's
you
how I
can
feel.
kind of like get what people are trying to ask.
You could base on context and stuff.
Yeah,
That's how I feel doing my lessons.
yeah, and yeah, it's unfortunate but that's kind of how business languages work. That's why a lot of people
Yeah.
know like
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they could introduce Mandarin servers then.
they should. I mean they should definitely have more international servers. They
It's
don't
really
have very
weird.
many at all.
Even like languages aside, it's weird that there's not more servers just based in other countries. Like none in Asia, none in Africa, none in
Yeah,
South America. That's like
the,
multiple continents.
yeah,
It's
I was gonna
weird.
say the only one that makes sense is like China. I think you have to like jump through some crazy holes
Yeah.
because of the way it is, but I
But
mean they
there's
could have
plenty of
like
other countries in Asia.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks because if you are in Asia, you just get a really bad selection of servers.
Yeah, no, that really sucks. Okay. Well, shout out to everyone who plays on those servers because you guys are gamers.
Yeah.
I think that like Tina is like somewhere in Asia as well.
Yeah, I think she's in like
She's like
Singapore or something like that.
or Hong Kong, but she's like a crazy gamer. So I'm like, how bad is her ping?
Yeah, I wonder if her ping's really bad or if she
Can you
gets
use a VPN?
that doesn't improve your ping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that just changes where your address is seeming to come from.
Oh, okay.
So maybe she gets good connection to like I mean Europe, I guess,
It's not
or
close at all.
Australia.
It's all really far.
Yeah,
Anyway, introduce more servers is weird to have whole continents that don't have a single server.
yeah. And just to clarify, they should add Cyrillic script,
Yes.
but I can see why they don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so those were weird questions and weird answers, but if you also want to participate with weird questions and answers, feel free to on all of our socials.
Yeah, our TikTok and Twitter, Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch are all Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape, so come hang out with me. I'm just going to be leaguing a lot. Like, I just want to league real bad right
Yep.
now.
Well, that's going to be it. So hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all.
Very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.